Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Spearhead cast with me, Matt. We got a Eastern Front battle for you all today. Let's go through the players, shall we? On the Wehrmacht side, we have Lobo for the Wehrmacht, and Ralph Roberts also for the Wehrmacht. So far, none of them have picked a commander. On the Soviet side, we have Seato Ichi as Motorstrelke, and Jivan as artillery. That's gonna be very interesting to see from the Soviet Union, how they're gonna do. Now we need to keep an eye on if the Germans produce any special things, but currently, it looks like Lobo is gonna go for Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers. It's generally a good way to get more units onto the field early as the Wehrmacht. We can see the Pioneers are already rushing across quickly. But we'll keep an eye on for whenever the Germans pick their commanders. Now the Soviets are pushing up fast with their sappers and conscripts, more conscripts coming in. But the Soviet, they're going straight for Frontoviki instead, which always works out. Frontoviki is generally what you want to go for if you want to have a more quality-based force. It's really depending on your own playstyle. Oh, it looks like one German is not really making moves. That's not a good sign. Hopefully he will adapt quickly and get to moving. Ah, there we go. Now he's moving. Good to see. And he's getting some Grenadiers. And some more Volksgrenadiers. Good, good. Okay. Looks like the Pioneers are trying to dig in here quickly. That's always a good position. Means you can cover the field from there. Also, it's preventing the Sappers from taking the field currently. The Pioneers should, in theory, be better than the Sappers at this range behind heavy cover. But we'll have to see what happens. Oh, we have Ostlegion. Ostlegion for Lobo here. That's gonna mean a lot of very interesting weapons here, and a lot of defensive tactics, hopefully. Oh, we have some Volksgrenadiers coming up behind cover. That should give the Germans the advantage here against the Sappers. But it looks like the Germans are gonna run into the Soviet Frontoviki here. Already putting their fire deep on these Pioneers. But Volksgrenadiers is able to fire from here. But the Pioneers not going to last for long under that fire. We have some Grenadiers moving up here to try and support. The Pioneers might have to get out of there. Oh, that's a rifle grenade though. Oh, and a pretty good one too. That's going to force the Soviets to run off. Meanwhile, on the southern flank, it looks like the Soviets are kind of moving up to prepare to take the fuel. But the Germans are still holding up in this farm. Both Grenadiers and Grenadiers working together to hold it from the 716th. I believe the 716 were a static infantry regiment, essentially used for defensive operations. I'm not really an expert, unfortunately. Or Soviets might run up here to try and throw a Molotov or a grenade. Yeah, Molotov going out for the Pioneers. Oh, but he aimed a little bit too far. Very smart, though. And while the Germans are taking off, and it looks like we have a Panzer Division. Yes, Valve robots have gone for Panzer Division. That should be interesting. We also have MG42 coming out. And while the Ostlegion is desperately trying to fight down here. Oh, clearing out the foliage. Very nice to see. That's going to give the Germans more of a view and area to fight from. And vaulting, nice to see. And while the Soviets are preparing to move out here with a Dushka to try and secure the ground again. But the Germans are slowly advancing here with tons of Volksgrenadiers.
Have been granted access to superior arms and soldiers.
Let's see how the Germans will do with all these static positions. They are only fighting conscripts, so at range, the Germans should be on top here. It would be different if these were Frontoviki. Frontoviki can actually engage the Germans at range. Like we have here, armed with SVTs. Well, some Volksgrenadiers moving up here quickly. They might plan to throw a steel hand granate. They're using the foliage for cover. But they are being spotted here by the Dushka. But they managed to get the Brandflasche off. And while the Germans are also pushing up here with the Panzer Grenadiers. Well, technically they're just Grenadiers, but they have the same division name as the Panzer Grenadiers. This is actually a Panzer Grenadier squad with the MG42. Soviets are still unable to take the fuel. And that is going to give the Germans a lot more time. MT-42 is going to set up here by the looks of it. Very good position, can cover a lot of the central area. MT-42 is a devastating weapon. Fires 1,200 rounds per minute, I believe. Dushka is a 50 cal weapon though, so that should cut through most things. If it can hit. Grenadiers here might not do too well. Yeah, SVTs are fine, but they are getting a rifle grenade off. Hitting the sappers, ooh, but not the MG squad. MG-42 is opening fire though. It's already immediately starting to cut the Fontoviki down. The sheer fuselage of firepower coming out here. Soviets are still able to take the fuel, but they are denying it for the Germans. Another MG-42 set up down here. Looks like the Ost division is getting another MG-42 as well. It's holding this area. A lot of machine guns. And again, the Ost division is very good for static defense, I've come to find, I believe. Anyway. Yeah, defensive and anti-tank. That seems to what it's specialized for. Also very fitting because we are on the Eastern Front, right? Soviet more are trying to probe the German defenses. So it's slowly getting setting up some areas here. Let's see what these conscripts aim to do. No, but Fontoviki here with the DPM. They can hold on this area pretty well. Oh, we have some officers Strafniki here. These are disgruntled officers that have a chance to re-earn their, well, honor in the name of the Soviet Union in the field of battle. These guys were actually not that badly equipped. They were actually equipped quite well for the assault operations they often had to do, which is probably why they're armed with SVTs and can be armed with the Maxim Tokarev. A very fascinating little weapon that we don't actually know that much about, or I don't know much about. It's basically, as you can read, it's a Soviet light machine gun and the first of its kind. I don't think it was used that much in all honesty. But they are going to support the Fontoviki here with that machine gun. The Fontoviki should be able to move in a lot easier now. There's not a lot of things to stop them. Southern flank is still kind of silent. We have some mortar Strelki with formerly Odon arriving. We also have a tank under here. Very good choice early on. Germans are taking up. MG-42 are being handed out to the Grenadiers. Anti-tank rifle being given out to the Pioneers. That's not to help them against all these troops. And those Pioneers might actually want to get out of there. They're about to be flanked. That's a lot of firepower on those three guys. They are throwing a Gewalterladung. What's not gonna be enough? There we go. Panzer II commands hang on the field though. Odon might be in trouble here because of all the MG-42s. But at this range, the MG-42 cannot penetrate unless he uses armor-piercing bullets. Oh, Molotov coming in here! Looks like the Soviets are going to use that advantage to try and take the fields here in the center. Both Grenadiers are moving in to try and stop them with MP-40s. Oh, also some Grenadiers moving up here with a stolen PTRD. PTRD, I think? Yeah, PTRD. Yeah, that half-track or scout cast to be a little bit careful here. Grenadiers ready here with their own MT-42. Most Grenadiers moving up. Oh! Penal troops managed to flank. But here comes the Lukes. And they have no anti-tank weapons. Dropping the Maxim Tokarev too. Actually, it's considered a Browning. Huh. Conscripts and Fontoviki holding these sandbags. I think the Fontoviki and the Conscripts might have this thanks to the DPM early on here. We'll have to see. Yeah, they're definitely winning that engagement. Oh, but that's a rifle grenade. Oh, did not kill many though. More Conscripts pushing up.
Anti-tank gun is ready for action.
Yeah, the Soviets can be relentless with their numbers. Molotov. And the Germans don't really have the best position here. This Lieutenant is gonna have to be very careful. He might get flanked. Fortunately, conscripts are not very accurate, so generally it's safer to retreat from them. Volksgrady is trying to provide some fire here from this location. MT-42 setting up. But the Odon might flank here. Oh, armor piercing being loaded. But they might already be pinned. Oh god. Pioneers flanking. They're gonna få Gebalderladung. Oh, it's very tight. Lux is still present here, command tank. In camouflage, actually. But the autocannon will save it. But it looks like the 50 cal and the Odon in the scout car might win out.
Target vehicle marking available. IL-2 available for reconnaissance flight.
It is proven to be a very good platform, and that's a lot of stuff, Nikki. Artillery division does get access to penal troops. They're large. I think they're 9-man squads you can essentially use to capture points rapidly. That's under fire. Like, they capture points much faster than any other unit. But they are kind of just there to, you know, being used to throw at the enemy. Yeah, and the Soviets are unable to take the fuel down here. MG-42 stopping them. Oh, scout car went down, but the Odon survived. This is a very elite unit you don't want to lose. Oh, Panzer II seems to have been damaged. Ah, by the Dushka, I imagine. The 50 cal was probably able to penetrate it. Yeah, it was using armor piercing rounds. A 50 cal can penetrate a Panzer II with ease with armor piercing.
We are losing supply.
Yeah, they moved to use the cover here. Very smart. And the Dushka is pinned. But it's suppressed. That's going to give them some time.
We have an isolated sector.
But the Fonsoviki are still present here. Radius with the LMG-42 is doing a lot of damage though. But they're not going to get out of there alive, I think. Here comes the penals. Charging forwards for the motherland to redeem themselves. Oh, we have some 25th Panzergrenadiers. This is a very cool unit that only Ost Division gets access to. These guys are basically the only Panzergrenadier regiment or division in the entire German army which became fully motorized. There was simply just not enough trucks or vehicles. But these guys were fully motorized, which means they were very mobile compared to any other unit. They're very unique, and only Ost Division gets access to them, which is a nice little thing, I think. I'll give them access to like an elite squad. Oh, well, I think they can have 2 of them in the field at a time, actually. Now, that's a lot of penals. I don't think these 4 Grenadiers, soon to be free, cannot handle this. Yeah, they're coming for them. There's just too many of them. The Lux is actually still alive. The crew is actually in secret trying to repair itself here. They might actually succeed, who knows? Oh, Panzerkampfwagen F1 has arrived. We also have the Lieutenant coming up here. Oh, that's a half-track this time. Much more heavily armored than the scout car. Very powerful weapons platform. Looks like the Sis gun is trying to provide some fire on the German lines. Oh, we also have a Valentine. This light tank actually became very popular amongst the Soviets for its aggressive recon. Oh, the Puma did not penetrate, that's bad. Yeah, these Panzergrenadiers are not going to have an easy time here, I think. Yeah, those guys have to get out of there. Lieutenant is calling in artillery, though. Looks like it's going to be high explosive vapor barrage. F1 is arrived though. That Siscon has to turn, but artillery is coming in. Oh, killing the Dushka. But the F1 has to be careful. Penals are rushing forwards for the motherland. They have no attacking weapons though. But the satchel charge did get them. But the Germans finally have repaired their Panzer II well. This thing has actually survived. Very, very nice to see. No one still has to fuel down here. Looks like the Lieutenant has been armed with an LMG-42. Nice to see. Oh, but Siska is firing. Oh, Stuka shot. Oh! That's gonna hurt them. Looks like we have some Bulgarians now for the Soviet Union. Bulgarians being called in to try and shore up the defenses. These guys had a very interesting history, because they basically fought for the Germans originally alongside the Axis powers, but then as the government surrendered, they kind of switched sides. So they were in a very weird position. They can actually be armed with German equipment because of it. They've been armed with, I believe this is Czechoslovakian machine guns, okay. Oh, I think these sappers might get close enough. Yeah, that's a satchel, but the grade is coming in on them. Almost killing them. The Soviets seem to not have an easy time right now. Or command crew, but not actually a command tank present. I guess the Germans need to rely on their fuel for something else. Now the Panzer IIL is really good at dealing with all these light troops here. The Penals don't stand a chance against an autocannon. Or an MG-42 for that matter. Well, this might become a problem here. Panzer IV in the fields. The best version of the Panzer IV to my knowledge. Panzer Grenadiers trying to flank. They've been pinned. Not good to see. Oh, they're throwing a Blenkhorper. Yeah, that's a Blenkhorper. Grenadiers are trying to push up here. But Jordan is present. Oh, Panzer II is trying to flank. Oh, the Panzerfaust assists! Oh, that's cool to see. Panzer II is trying to kill the Valentine, but it might not work. I don't think the autocannon can penetrate the Valentine's armor. But the Panzer IV can. Oh, it actually didn't! Yeah, the Valentine is doing surprisingly well. There it goes, though. One penetrating shot is enough. Bulgarians are in vain moving up against the machine gun here. Being thrown to the slaughter by the Soviets. Mortar is present though. Sis 3 has been manned again. Oh, Panzer IV has lost his tracks. That's gonna make it very vulnerable. Panzer's moving up here with SVTs. Artillery coming in here to help them protect the Panzer IV. And the Panzer II is still present with its autocannon. Oh, the Panzer II is surviving everything! You need to call down a Stuka strike right there. That's not looking good for the Soviet Union. We didn't have the Großdeutschland arriving. And the Großdeutschland survive all these Soviets though. Looks like they might, but here comes the Bulgarians as well. There's too many. But the Panzergrenadiers are around here to support them. And the Germans are just slowly creeping up with the Soviet base now. That is a KV-8 though. The Panzer IV-H could deal with it if it gets some good shots though. But the KV-8 is terrifying. It's a flamethrower tank of the heaviest degree. It will melt this infantry. But the Panzer IV might be able to get flanking shots. More 25 Panzergrenadiers coming out. Oh, it switched to its gun, because the KV-8 actually has to switch between its 45mm gun and its flamethrower. Oh, we also have some Panzergrenadiers present here. The 15th. Trying to hold the Soviets at bay here. I think the KV-8 could probably push up here. I'd be safer for it. But this Panzer II is just chewing everything apart. That Panzer II has been such a menace to the Soviets. More done coming out there. Another assist gun for the Soviet Union. They're also taking off for tank buildings now for one of the Soviets. Another MT-42 present for the Germans. Now the 45mm gun, I don't think it's going to do much at this range. And not with all this cover in the way. He needs to get closer to something and use its flamethrower. That's this Panzer II-L. It's just killing every infantry it can see. Artillery trying to go in on it. They want to immobilize that thing. We also have a lieutenant now for the lieutenant, or lieutenant, whatever you want to call it, for the Soviet artillery. More aircraft coming over for the Soviet Union. Looks like another Stuka. They want to kill that KV. Oh, they lost the engine. Or the engine was hurt anyway. Oh, but the Lukes might be in trouble here. Panzer IV is moving in. The KV-8 might not survive this. This is going to be a very tight. The machine guns are stopping the system being rearmed. Germans are just slowly pinning the Soviets in. Panzer II Lukes is still operational. It's actually Veteran Tier 5. We never really see that, I think. That is a really impressive Panzer II command tank. But the anti-tank rifles got it. That's really all it took. KV-8 is still within range of the Panzer IV though. If they get sighted and shoot. Because the machine gun is just on fire, on attack ground around the machine gun. Around the SIS, I mean. Trying to prevent the Soviets from taking it. The Soviets need to repair that KV-8. Tiger has arrived though at this time. It might be over for the Soviet Union this day. Smoking everything to try and survive there. T-34 is coming out for the Soviet Union. But it might be a little too late. And all the machine guns is just too much for the Soviets and the Bulgarians. I don't think the KV-8 is gonna matter much. Because now there's a Tiger, another Panzer II command tank, and a Panzer IV command tank as well. The Germans got everything they need. And here they might come for the killing blow. KV might have to move. Oh yeah, this might be it. Heavy artillery going in and the Tiger moving in for the kill. Oh. And there they go. A very short match, but I enjoyed it. A lot of action happened here. And I hope you'll agree. I'll see you all next one, everyone. Bye-bye.